Here comes the rooster. Oh, yeah. What's up? How's everyone doing? Everyone staying fresh? Well, we got real winter here. Real. We got really real winter. And nobody cares. Now, we have an severely aged Nicaraguan series, AJ Fernandez. My cellophane is very brown. That's how you could tell. It's got years to do that. Years to do that. And I got to say, this is one of the best looking AJ designs ever, with one of the best looking AJ wrappers. Look at that. Almost like a rosado, reddish brown looking wrapper. Nicaraguan Puro. Smell that chocha. Ah, ooh, wowza. Look at the band. They copied the Cohiba series with that, but who cares? But they added some embossing. And I think this was one of the best looking bands that AJ ever made. And the color scheme, too. It just was solid. And the cigar came out, almost 10 years ago. It was a long time ago. Was it 2019 or 17? It's a long time ago. It's a long time ago. And, here's what it is. So here's the thing. Gio's trying to text me right now. I think he's in county prison. And, where's Gio? Uh, is he in Minnesota? Gio, nobody likes you, Gio. Not even you. Not even you, Gio. You are a sodomite. And I'm mixing some of my agua. I have one bottle with a lot of ice in it. I'm going to pour the smaller bottle into the bottle with ice. And so that way when I drink that water, it'll be nice and cold. Not that anyone here cares, right? Are you excited about tomorrow's rigged sodomite game? Oh, yeah, the Super Bowl. How exciting! We're gonna we're gonna have a Super Bowl. The bowl's gonna be super. The pack on this is very nice. It is very full. It's very dense. It is a perfect looking mid tier cigar. I mean, everything you want. You look at the cigar, the packaging, the presentation, the roll. Yeah, it doesn't look like some $20, $30 Opus X, but the fit and finish is fine. Um, I could say it's a little deformed on the bottom, but but it's totally perfect looking, especially the mid tier price point. Now I paid $8 Pennsylvania. Now when this came out, I don't remember the price point, but it was in New York anyways when it came out when I was living there, and I got the band to move a little bit. The band couldn't move yesterday. Thank you very much, sir. What are you, a cop? Anyways, though, so we got that going on, and I did a lot of laundry yesterday. I mean, normally I do one load of laundry a week, socks, underwear, the shirts I wear, pair of pants, but a towel. But I did everything, all the blankets, all the sheets, all the pillow covers, even the blankets on the couch, everything. I had like 5 loads of laundry, the laundromat, but man, everything is, yeah. Yeah, honestly, everything's nice. Head of the game. Um, Even the little towel that goes on the stove, on the oven. So, what's the blend on this? Well, I'm glad you asked. Nicaraguan Puro. Is that special? I don't know. So, I think AJ just does very well with Nicaraguan tobacco. What people don't realize, AJ is not Nicaraguan. Most guys that make cigars are not Nicaraguan. They grow in Nicaragua. AJ is from Cuba, from what I hear. Yeah. Let's do a draw test. Sweet and tangy. Pause. All right. Oh, that match is broken. Let's see if we can get this ready in 2 matches. Soft, gentle heat. I can't stress it enough. 1, 2, 3, rotate. 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 We got to spread that fire around. And now, for the moment I've been waiting for, rotate one more time around, and here we go. As I do my first puff, I'm analyzing, but I'm also doing a little more rotating. We should be good. The cigar has a perfect draw. Probably not going to have any need for a touch-up. The finish is already pretty long and heavy. The cigar is already a medium full off the bat, the Chocho. The finish is getting pretty long and heavy off the bat. There's already a slight bit of charred wood off the bat. Strength is medium full off the bat. Darkness, 70%. I like where it's going right from the beginning. Very oily looking wrapper, and that's generally conducive to a long, heavy finish. Holding that smoke, a bold amount of dark charred wood, black pepper, smoky. It's a rich, heavy feel. This is a good cigar with Scotch or bourbon. If you like, if you like smoky type of whiskeys, bourbon or Scotch, albeit, you're gonna like this. Yeah, the Chaz 505, a bit of chocha off the bat. There you go. Hey, you know what? I like what you said. Just for that, I'm gonna give you a wrench. I'll tell you what. I like that attitude. And just for talking proper shit and you're paying attention and you're coming in with respect to yourself in the lounge, you got a wrench. Congratulations. Nobody can touch you now. Pause, no diddy. Nobody can kick you out of the club but me or a moderating wrench. You don't got a moderating wrench. You're not a captain, but you're in the club. Also, it's your duty. If people come in here and talk shit, it's one thing to joke around, but if people off the bat come in here and talk shit, if I got to tell you to go handle it, you're not ready for be a manager. If you just put in the work, if you keep that duffel bag ready and dump that shit when you're done so it doesn't blow back on Richie, man, you'll be a manager just like that. Can't stress it enough. Ready for the work. He's like, he's like, we go to the bank. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my head got all fucked up. Oh, man. It's the only thing about wearing a hat fucks up your hair. Because everyone in this place has their role. I'm not trying to be a dictator. I could. But what fun is that? There's moments where I have to, handle it myself. Occasionally, from time to time. But, you know. Now, this is a cigar that probably a lot of people don't give a shit about. There's some cigars that when I go live, people really care. Other times, not so much. This is a cigar that I don't know if it's even still being made. But I can tell you this. It is a quality cigar. And don't sleep on it. I like it. It's not really a sweet cigar per se. But there is a little bit of syrupy sweetness to it. But it's a bold cigar. It's medium full off the bat. A lot of charred wood. black pepper, little syrupiness. Um, finishes long, finishes heavy. 70% darkness. More like a molasses type sweetness. Look, shit, I'd have like bagels and lox with this with a scotch. If you want smoked fish, anything smoked, fuck barbecue food, whatever the fuck, man. Right? Shit, pulled pork is like charred, right? Why don't they put like brisket on a bagel? You got pulled pork. Shit, that sounds fantastic. He said, "Me, I prefer a bit of the chocha off the bat." Yeah, yeah, yeah. You got it, Gio. Everyone here that I don't know, I'm gonna test it to see if it's Gio, and I'll know, and he knows that I know. But if you're not Gio, that will come out. I'll know you're not Gio if you're not a douchebag. Because even when Gio tries to come back into the lounge and pretends to be someone else, he can't hide the douche. He can't hide the douche. Not sure where Jeremy or PG is tonight. It is Saturday night. Maybe PG's out there getting chocha. Maybe. Maybe Jeremy's smoking, a cigar. Probably in the car because it's cold. It's cold tonight, but I'll say this: thank God, there's no wind. It's literally dead silent, not a peep of wind, and thank God for that because it's less than zero right now. But I'll take like -2 and no wind. There is no wind. Wind is oof. That's how we can explain cigars. Temperature is how strong a cigar is. Let's just give that example. But how windy it is, that's how smooth a cigar is. Does that make any sense? You could have a strong cigar, but if there's no wind, it's very smooth. But you could have a cigar that's not that strong, but very windy, and it's kind of rough smoking it. Does that make any sense? So you could be outside and it could be 0 degrees with no wind. That could be better than 28 and high wind. Wind really goes up the chocha. Bit of dark coffee coming in too. I'll tell you what. As I always say with AJ cigars, I don't think they age badly. And what I mean is, they don't really lose their original intent. Not for well, I mean, AJ's only been out for so long, but I've never had really an AJ overall that had 2 or 3 or 4 years on it, and it was like, oh, the cigar sucks now. It doesn't even remind me of the original intent. AJ, the way he loads his cigars, they're stout, and honestly, I've had cigars of his with a couple of years on it, and here's another one with a couple of years on it, and it's still strong. Is it as good as the original intent? I mean, I can't say yes or no because I've only smoked a cigar when it came out for a few times. I enjoyed it, but then I really didn't see it that long. Like it was in stores, and then AJ just had so many cigars that, and the newer ones that became more popular. This one wasn't really around that long, not in New York, especially Long Island lounges. Unless it's like a staple like Macanudo or Romeo, like something that's always been around. Cigars that come out with new blends, New York is always about what's next, what. So um, the lounges were always coming out with new shit, which was cool, but it's good for a cigar reviewer, But I'll say this: lately, a lot of lounges, whether I'm in New York or here in Pennsylvania, I don't know if it's the lounges or the cigar companies. 2026 overall and the end of 2025. Normally in the wintertime, we see a lot of new stuff coming out. And I think things are just delayed because the market is so bad. The market is extremely bad. right there. We're heavy, medium, full. We're about a half inch in. This cigar is probably going to blow up my chocho. It's strong. It's heavy. Wow, that Honda Civic sounded like a motorcycle. It probably had no catalytic converter. And so I got to say, it's impressive. It's oily, long, heavy finish. Oh, I spoke too soon. The wind is coming up. Ooh, I feel that wind going up my chocha. Strong. Strong cigar. Long finish. 70% darkness. A very oily, flawless looking wrapper. Smoking very well. Let's check out that chocha. Perfect. I like this cigar. But don't smoke it if you don't have the time. This is very slow moving. Um, Very slow moving. So I'm not against. You gotta kind of pay attention to the cigar. If you're smoking it and it's very slow moving, if it's not operating, if it's going out on you, it's probably too wet. But before you start blaming the factory, how could you tell a cigar's too wet? Well, let's give the cigar the benefit of the doubt. If your band could move, see my band can move a little bit. See, it's not too wet. Because before I took out the cellophane since yesterday and let it air out a little bit. Let it shed some moisture. Air that coochie out, right? Let it breathe. Let that pussy breathe. And then you'll know you did your part. So if then the cigar is not drawing properly, at least you eliminated it's not wet. What I mean by wet is not overly moist. A lot of lounges are just too moist. You understand? Another way to tell if a cigar is too wet, if you pick it up, bro, this cigar shop that I bought it from, they had some cigar. The machine that was there, the way it was blowing out all this water, some of the boxes of cigars were getting way too. Dude, some of these cigars were bent like a warped piece of wood. I told the guy there, the Indian guy, I said, guys, you got to throw these cigars out. You can't buy these things. No, the cigars are bent. They're curved like a banana. In a way, they're making a new shape of cigars. I've never seen that. The cigars were so wet that they literally bent. I got to go back and maybe try to smoke one of them. At this point, you could smoke a cigar that's the letter C. How are you going to smoke a cigar like this? No, I don't think Cohiba's overrated at all. However, though, do I think the prices are inflated? I mean, I could say yes, but a lot of brands do that. Padron is overrated and overpriced. But Padron gets more respect on the street. It used to. Honestly, I don't think Padron is the same anymore. Um, so, but the difference is you can go on the internet, you can go on Cigar Page and buy Cohiba blue, black, white, and red, and orange for really good prices. You don't have to pay extremely high price for Cohiba for the regular line. Let me tell you, if you go on Cigar Page and man, I've gotten Cohiba red dots in blue $5 a stick. Those are solid cigars. They're worth more than five at MSRP, but I'm not gonna pay $25 for a red dot at the store. So I mean, whatever. Now, then there's higher levels of Cohiba. Like if you go to the M series, I'll pay the $25 for those cigars. I'll smoke them a few times a year, because the M series dude. Those are limited top shelf cigars. So was the Weller. The Weller red one, I paid $30. I smoke that once a year. Fantastic. Why? You'll go spend $25, $30 on an Opus. How you doing? All right. So, um, there's the regular series of Cohibas are fantastic. Um, but buy them on Cigar Page. The limited stuff they can't really do deals on those because it's very limited. But the Weller, the Red Weller 2025, that is the best bourbon, whatever barrel aged cigar I've ever had. That was fantastic. Okay, worth the $30. So, but the regular lineup, go on Cigar Page. Yeah, Cigar Page has some of the best deals. They don't got every cigar you want necessarily, but I mean, meaning at the price you want. But when they have deals, man, they got some good deals. They got some good deals, and free shipping. The free shipping is fantastic. So, and they always give you some swag, stickers and keychains and nice boxes, and they always put packs in there. So it's top notch on the branding and packaging. Cigar Page, if the way it's going, they're the best online seller of cigars as far as customer service. Like, you know what I'm saying? They are not like the old standards like J&R and Thompson, which I think went out of business. Is Thompson still around? Well, that's variable. Depends on your mood, what you like, how much we talking about. We talking about MSRP pricing. We talking about internet pricing. When you say he said, most, listen, I respect your opinion, but I'll disagree. But I will say that I don't believe the Andalusian Bull is worth $35, though. But the Andalusian Bull here in Pennsylvania, I pay $18, and they're always available. So I'm gonna tell you what, Andalusian Bull for $18, it's worth it. Am I gonna spend $40 on it? No. I like the Andalusian Bull, but the size, you really need to have the time to smoke that cigar. That's a 2-hour cigar, man. Um, so MSRP, I'm gonna tell you a fantastic cigar that you're gonna really love. I put some cigars in what's called the easy to love category, where it's just those generally aren't gonna be super strong. Oh yeah, like I said, I mean, I'll repeat what I said. I'm not spending $35, $40. I've seen the Andalusian Bowl $50 in New York, but here in Pennsylvania, up $18. I'll buy an Andalusian Bowl. I get Opus X here for $18 in Pennsylvania. I get other Opus X's like the I forget the bigger one, Perfection, the one in the cedar sleeve, $23. I mean, fantastic cigars. But I'm not spending like $39, $40 for that. But you know, Pennsylvania really has the best prices on cigars due to the lower cost of operating and I don't think any tobacco tax, just sales tax. Um, yeah, I would never spend that kind of money. Uh, so the thing is, you said what's a good everyday cigar? MSRP about $10. Try the Macanudo Maduro. The classic Macanudo Maduro, easy to love, fantastic. Also try the Ashton Aged Maduro. If we're gonna go to the Maduro section, right? The Ashton Aged Maduro, the Macanudo Maduro, the Fuente Hemingway Maduro. Those three cigars, all around, give or take $10, plus or minus, depending on the sizes, anywhere from like $8 to $12. Uh, the Macanudo Maduro, the Ashton Aged Maduro, and the Hemingway Maduro. Those are all fantastic cigars. Also, the Diamond Crown Maduro, the classic Diamond Crown Maduro, that's a Fuente cigar, fantastic Connecticut broadleaf. Um, we're still talking about Maduros here. Oh, if you haven't had the Dunbarton Tobacco Umbagog, The Dunbarton Tobacco, which is Steve Saka, the Umbagog, that's an affordable cigar. MSRP. You're gonna enjoy that. Perfect burn. Cigar's burning slow. I'm gonna drop that asheroo. Here we go, dropping ash. Um, Cigar is still medium full. I don't think it's really lost any strength with all the time on it. Um, yeah, I mean, from there, I mean, dude, there's so many cigars, bro. But I mean, those are some great Maduros to start with. Um, the Melanio V Maduro is fantastic, and that's going to be a Mexican San Andreas Maduro. The Oliva Melanio V Maduro. But those you can get on Cigar Page a lot better. Oliva, don't pay Oliva prices. The lounge prices have gone up, but the internet prices have gone down. I don't know what they're doing. But you could get a box of 10 for like $55 on Cigar Page of Oliva Melanio V Maduro. And those are fantastic, especially in the smaller sizes like Robusto and Corona. Fantastic time. Chocolatey, black pepper, and earth. Very simplistic, but if you like the older like Padron 64 Maduro and 26 Maduro, that cigar is kind of like up that alley. Um, but go on Cigar Page. We're smoking the an aged AJ Fernandez Nicaraguan series, um, and I'm really enjoying it. It's a bold cigar, not really super complex, but bold on the flavor. It's a strong medium full. It's 70% darkness, so it's not the darkest cigar I've had, but it's very smoky. A lot of charred wood, heavy on that, heavy on the black pepper, some syrupy like type of molasses. Um, the finish is very long, heavy, sticky on the flavor, no ditty. So it'd be great with whiskey or bourbon, scotch. Whiskey is a bourbon. Bourbon is a whiskey. Well, that sounds like a blues song. Bourbon is a whiskey, and my woman's a cunt. He said, I said, bourbon is a whiskey, and my woman's a cunt. I got no respect from this. If I can't, if I can't hit a home run, I guess I'll bunt. It's been 3 days. I agree with you in the past. Padron was a brand that I really used to enjoy, and they've shifted. I'm telling you right now, Padron 64 and 26, they do not taste the same. It's going on almost 2 years. And I loved Padron in the past a lot. They've changed. The blend has changed, and the construction has changed. And I can't explain it, but I won't buy them anymore for myself. That was one of my go-tos, Padron 26. If I was feeling it, I'd spend the money and get a Padron 26 Maduro. If I was trying to save a little money and feeling it, I get the 26 Maduro in the Principe size. Oh, I've smoked hundreds of those. But the flavor ain't the same. And a lot of guys don't recognize flavor. They just enjoy the cigar. How it's strong and how it smokes. They don't pay attention. Especially if you're around other people and you're bullshitting and you puff on and you put it down, you're torch lighting it 10 times. You're not tasting flavor or paying attention. I pay attention to smoking cigars. You got to know when you're smoking a cigar when to slow down, when to speed it up. If you take a puff and it's smoking, but not that much smoke came out, you might have let it. You might have let it. You gave it too much time, and now you give it a few more, like CPR. Resuscitate that cigar before you light it up. Just take some 3 or 4 or 5 strong puffs quickly. Bah, 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 bah. Get some airflow in there. Light that fire up. If you're smoking on it, but the cherry's red hot, and like it doesn't almost want to smoke, like you got ahead of that cigar. Like give it a second. Like give it some time. You can you could get ahead of a cigar and be puffing too fast, and you can almost get bitter. You got to find a nice pace. It's like life. It's like work. Like chocha. You got to find a nice pace. If you go too fast, you're gonna crack the wrapper. You go too slow, it's gonna go out. and then you're going to have to relight. And what if you're out of matches and you let a cigar go out? That's like you have to take a shit and there's no toilet paper. Now you're not wearing a sock. I'm telling you, man. The cigars, how you smoke cigars is how you do everything, right? You could be prepared to smoke a cigar, but at the same time, a situation doesn't have to be perfect. Like, oh, but I don't have what I want to do, and oh, but it's not the perfect time, and oh, it's not the perfect place. Or sometimes, bro, you just got to learn how to just enjoy the cigar anywhere, okay? Except in the mall. You can't smoke cigars in the mall. And yeah, here's the thing. Yeah. Relighting a cigar is like banging chocha, but you don't blow your load. And then you give it like 30 minutes. You go have a drink of water, and then you come back, and you're like, "Want to try it again?" And now you're just, you know what I'm saying? Though you're not fresh, and you're gonna try it again. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, exactly. Once you cut the cap and you get ready to go, you don't want to let that cigar go out. You know. And also, you're embarrassing yourself. Even if your woman pretends to be understanding, if you bang her and you don't blow your load, and you go, especially if you go limp, it's one. If you're banging her for 2 hours and you're like stiff as a brick and you don't blow your load, well, that's just impressive. But if you're banging her and like you can't keep it up, she's gonna once she tells her girlfriends, she'll never respect you again. You don't ask for chocha if you're not ready for chocha. If you pull that cigar out, you better light it and finish it. Because I'm telling you, that woman will no woman respects her man with a limp dick. Just keep that shit to yourself. Don't do it. If you got a limp dick, that's like carrying a gun with no ammunition. It's only going to get you in trouble, and it won't get you out of in trouble. Stupid. Yeah. Mm. The cigar is smoking extremely slow. We are 33 minutes in, and I am still kind of in the first third. It's almost in the second. It's almost in the second third, but not quite. It's a slow moving cigar. I find it enjoyable. I find it bold. I find it strong, and I think it's good enough as is by itself. Although I wouldn't say it's my favorite mid tier AJ cigar, but I think this would be really good. No, I'll rephrase that. I know this would be really good with Scotch. Oh, I would have a couple of nice Scotches. Um, I like Dewar's 12-year Scotch is fantastic. It's a nice blend of Scotch. It's a solid, great flavor, and I like it for me. It's solid. It's affordable, but it's not garbage at all. Dewar's is a solid Scotch, especially when the white label is going to be 6 years, and that's it's a little on the rough side. It's fine if you're going to put on the rocks and if you're going to get lit at a wedding, but Dewar's 12 years is so smooth. My brother doesn't even like Scotch, and man, we had a great time. Me and my brother. He came up to Pennsylvania, and we drank a handle. With us a 1.5, almost in a whole weekend. We had a great time. Now, Johnny Walker is fantastic. You got some more range with Johnny Walker. Now, Johnny Red, I have some experience with out of respect for my grandfather. For my grandfather back in the 80s, my father would say my grandfather would drink Johnny Red. And that was classy for him because he grew up in dirt poor. And he didn't come to America until he was about 40 years old. And he had nothing. So when my grandfather would have people over in the 1970s and 80s over his house, when my grandfather pulled out Johnny Red on the rocks, that was class act. Okay, now put it in this day and age with all the single malts available in the internet and whatever. Sure, but that was expensive for him because he grew up with nothing. So him buying a Johnny Red. I mean, what's good and what's expensive is two different things. It's relative. If you grew up, if you dude, he grew up with nothing. He grew up having to go to a well for water. Until he was 40 years old, he didn't have a sink. He didn't have a sink. He didn't have running water. I mean, he washed himself in the river. Washed himself. You grab a bucket of water and you wash your balls. You know, he had nothing, and he came to America and he worked for the Gambinos in the cement business. Oh, he loved the Gambinos. Now, Ezra Zion is a fantastic brand. The Ezra Zion, the chocolate bar, I really liked. I'm not going to say anything more. I respect Ezra Zion. You get a chance to smoke any Ezra Zion, just watch out getting gouged, but you enjoy Ezra Zion, fantastic. Now, Johnny Walker. Johnny Walker Black, I drank a lot of that. That's a good time. But I'm going to tell you this Johnny Walker Black is a 12-year age scotch, and it's a blend. And so is Dewar's 12. I'm going to tell you right now Dewar's 12 is better than Johnny Walker Black. Johnny Walker Black, they're just better at marketing. I'm telling you right now. Now, the Johnny Black, it's more smoky. And it's going to appear on the surface to be stronger, but they're both 40% alcohol by volume. Go do yourself a favor. The Dewar's 12 is actually a better price, and it's better. The Dewar's 12 is a better scotch. Dewar's 12 is better than Johnny Walker 12, which is Johnny Black. Now, once you go to Dewar's 15, which is a godsend, and then if you go to Johnny Walker 15, the green, I say it's about even because Johnny Walker 15, that's when Johnny Walker, in my opinion, in this day and age, Johnny Walker 15, the green label, oh, that's even guys that don't like Johnny Walker, a lot of people respect Johnny Walker green. It's about $60, but there is two different kinds of blends when it comes to Scotch. You have single malt, and you have like single cask, single malt, but then you have blended Scotch whiskey and Scotch whiskey. Like one is just a blend of. Johnny Walker Green is a blend of only single malts, meaning, let's say they take 4 single malts and then they make Johnny Walker Green. It's only a blend of true single malts. Then, like Johnny Walker Green, Red or Black, it is single malts, a bunch of them for a blend, but they also cut it with some grain whiskey. Now, some people don't like that. You do it what you want. Also, Dewar's 12 and Dewar's 15, you don't need to drink it on the rocks. Johnny Black and Johnny Red, I'm drinking it on the rocks. Definitely. The Johnny Red and Johnny Black is not as smooth as Dewar's 12, or not at all. So you do the information what you want to do. And my grandfather, I'm going to tell you an old school story of my grandfather. So my grandfather, he ran cement crews for the Gambinos, for G&G Cement. And my father never really talked about anything about the family or that side. But one day my father told me a story, and I don't know why. It was so out of pocket. He's like, yeah, I'm going to tell you a story about your grandfather in the cement business. And I thought it was going to be about making cement. He's like, yeah, so your grandfather, I was at work, because my grandfather did a few years working with him in the cement business until he went union electrician. So at this point, my grandfather's already been in the cement business for probably 20 years. He's high up there. All the Gambinos were at my father's wedding, out of respect for my grandfather. Now, my father's like, yeah, all the the guys, meaning the Gambinos, they came on down to the job site, and they were having a meeting with your grandfather, his father, my nono, and they went in the Cadillacs and they all left, and they went to a gentleman's club. And I'm like, okay, that's normal. It's normal to be on a job site in Manhattan, and then they go in Cadillacs while you're pouring cement, right? And then they go in Cadillacs and go to a gentleman's club. Okay, I'm like, all right, listen. Well, what else, Dad? They go to the gentleman's club. They're having a drink, having some food, and the stripper comes around and starts dancing near my grandfather, taking her clothes off. And my grandfather really didn't speak. He was Robert De Niro. He didn't like just with the face. And the girls start coming by dancing, taking the clothes off of my grandfather. And my father told me the story because his father told him, and he was laughing. He came home. He told me. He said the girl came over, tried to dance on me. He said he put a bunch of money in the girl's, in the whatever the clothes. And he said to her like this. He said in broken Italian. He said, "Think about your father." And gave her. He put a bunch of money in between her breasts. He said, "Think about your father." And he gave her a hand like, "Get out of here. Like, go put your clothes back on." Man, that is some gangster shit. What he said right there is many things. What he said is, I know you got to do what you got to do for your job that you choose to do. However, I have a wife, and this is not for me. However, I'm not going to tell these bosses in the mafia who I'm affiliated with what to do because that's their choice. And they want to have a business meeting here? We're going to have a business meeting here. However, though, I draw the line with me. I don't negotiate when it comes to my marriage. Now, I'm man enough. I could go out with the boys to a gentleman's club, but I'm not going to partake in the side pussy because I love my wife. And they respected that. He was non-negotiable. His family was sacred. At the same time, he was the man of the world, and he gave us some money. He said, think about your father. Meaning, maybe you should try a different job, bitch. Dude, imagine telling a stripper while she's getting naked, think about your father, and you give her some money and tell her to get the fuck out of here. Think about your like, have some respect for your family. That's some gangster shit, bro. Think about you. Too. My father told me that story, and then like he just walked away. It's when I was living with him in Florida a couple of years ago, and I was like, "What does that have to do with anything? What is that?" Well, it has to do with a lot, but I mean, what is? I still really know nothing about my grandfather. I mean, I do, but I don't. Like, I don't. like, all right. So, uh, Galante was the mob boss who got whacked. He got shot in the face with a shotgun in Queens when he was smoking a cigar. His son, his oldest son, Jimmy, he lived in our basement with his wife and kids. Now, Jimmy told me he worked in the T-shirt business. He told me he sold T-shirts. Now, I was a kid in the '80s. And I was like, "So what do you do, Uncle Jimmy?" "I sell T-shirts, kid. T-shirts." "Oh, oh wow, he sells T-shirts." "You mean Uncle Jimmy's father was running all the heroin out of Sicily from Turkey here in Brooklyn, New York, through cans of tomato sauce, and it was called the Pizza Connection because all the tomato sauce. One, every pizza shop in the Northeast, you had to buy sauce from him or they'd kill you if you had an Italian restaurant or pizzeria. And two, they were moving the heroin to a tomato sauce. He got so greedy though because he didn't want to share the money with the American Italians that he got whacked openly in broad daylight, shotgun to the face, daytime. He got whacked so hard, his son Jimmy, who lived with us, he sold T-shirts. I get Jimmy probably was at home. Dad got shot. I'm gonna start selling T-shirts. Fuck this mafia shit. I'm going to sell T-shirts. Are you really? No, but I'm going to start telling people that. I'm in the T-shirt business. I'm in the T-shirt business. Yeah, we're going to sell T-shirts. Anyways, rest in peace to Jimmy Jr. He passed away a couple years ago in South Florida. Rest in peace to Jimmy. Jimmy was a nice guy, not a mean bone. He was not like his father. Jimmy Jr. You know, he might have sold T-shirts and didn't pay taxes, whatever, but he wasn't a killer. I asked my father about a few years ago. I said, "Dad, do you know the guy Jimmy Galante that lived in our basement with his family? He was hiding out. You know his father was in the mafia. He was a boss. A boss. He did years in prison for multiple homicides. And then when he got out in the 70s, he got greedy with the heroin and the tomato sauce. And it was called the Pizza Connection. And he got whacked because he got so greedy with all the money. And my dad's like, yeah, but Jimmy was a nice guy. That's all my father said. He said, but Jimmy was a nice guy. And then he left the room. That's all he said. Jimmy was a nice guy. My father didn't deny anything I just said. My dad was just like, but Jimmy was a nice guy. He said that he just walked away. My dad acknowledged I knew too much. Um, enjoying the cigar. It's a slow burning cigar. We're 50 minutes in. We're in our second third, and I gotta tell you, these Nicaraguan series are high value because you get a lot of tobacco for your money. They're slow burning. It's a strong cigar, 70% darkness, and I think it's good with Scotch or whiskey or bourbon. Really, I think AJ was in full swing with this because this is one of his own cigars, not a collaboration cigar, but it feels like a collaboration cigar. What I mean is, I think the blend was kind of sophisticated. It didn't feel like just AJ Power. Like I wish they'd bring this back. The Nicaraguan series. If you see this cigar, maybe you should buy some if it's still in production or they still have some stock on it. I'm really enjoying it. What's the review on this? 4.6. It's a solid, very good. It's not an amazing cigar, but it's a solid, very good. I can't recommend it. However, though, I wouldn't say it's easy to love for everyone. It's kind of on the stronger side. Um, but it's a bold cigar, and you need time to smoke this. It's very slow moving. It's very thick tobacco. Thick tobacco wants to move slow. Okay, so you got to give yourself time, and make sure it's not too wet. Um, so keep that in mind. Much drier tobacco, thinner tobacco is more aromatic, but those cigars are not as strong. So this is more slower, heavy, if that makes any sense. But it's a fantastic cigar. Oily, buttery, long, heavy finish. Solid. I would say it's box worthy if you can find a box. Well, this thing is got nice charred wood, a nice amount of black pepper, molasses sweetness, and a long, heavy finish. But the flavors are bold. They're big and bold on this. I would really like to have some like whiskey and some fucking nice Cabot cheese. Let me tell you something. You buy yourself, don't get the store. Store cheese is fine if you're making an omelet. Spend $4 or $5 on a brick of cheese and get yourself little Cabot brick cheese. I'm telling you, there's some nice cheeses out there. You have some nice cheese and whiskey with a nice cigar. I'm telling you, it pairs really nice. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Anyways, on that note, I got to get out of here. I wish everyone the best. Everyone stay out of trouble. Don't do drugs. Eat your prunes. Limit your alcohol content. I can't stress it enough. Make sure you wash yourself every day. Wash your balls. Change your underwear. Disinfect your toilet bowl seat. Come on. Don't be nasty. All right? There's no reason for bacteria. Limit it. Limit your bacteria. Can't stress. You guys be good. I'll stay around and don't do drugs. Drugs are for losers. I'll see you around.